Women in the death zone, the reality no one talks about. Full cinematic script, English version, intro, the truth. The mountain never talks about Everest, a mountain of glory, a mountain of fear, a mountain where dreams rise above the clouds, and where illusions die faster than oxygen in the death zone. But there is one subject the world refuses to talk about, a subject ignored in interviews, avoided in documentaries, never mentioned in guidebooks. What happens if a woman gets her period on Everest at 5,000 to 8,848 meters, where the human body is breaking down, where each breath is a negotiation with death, where every mistake can cost you your life? This is not just biology, this is survival. This is a battle between the female body and the highest point on Earth. Today, we go into the truth no one dares to cover. This is Frost of Heights, where the mountains speak, and we listen. 1. What the female body faces at high altitude. High-altitude medicine is clear. At 5,000 to 8,000 meters, the female body enters emergency mode. Metabolism slows, hormones shift unpredictably, blood thickens, iron levels drop, immunity crashes, heartbeat accelerates. The brain receives far less oxygen. And when menstruation starts on top of that, the body is fighting two battles at once, the mountain and itself. 2. Can periods start unexpectedly on Everest? Yes, and it happens often, because altitude disrupts everything. Stress, freezing temperatures, dehydration, extreme physical strain, lack of sleep, sudden pressure drops. This can cause the cycle to start earlier, stop completely, or return suddenly. On Everest, the body follows the mountain, not the calendar. 3. Why it's dangerous at high altitude. What is normal on the ground becomes risky, even deadly, on Everest. Dehydration. Blood loss plus altitude. Dehydration equals dizziness, weakness, hypoxia. Anemia, low iron to poor oxygen transport to higher risk of brain edema. Cramps at altitude. Every spasm is intensified 2 to 3 times by lack of oxygen. Cold exposure. Menstrual blood loss accelerates body cooling. Hygiene challenge. Taking off gloves at -20 degrees to -40 degrees can mean frostbite within seconds. Infection risk. A minor infection at base camp can become life-threatening above 6,000 meters. This is not just discomfort, it's a real survival factor. 4. How periods impact the climb. Women who experienced menstruation on the mountain described, strength disappeared in minutes. It felt like my blood was freezing from inside. Every step was pain hitting my spine. My throat burned. I couldn't drink enough. A normal climb becomes a double fight, against the mountain and against your own biology. 5. How female climbers actually survive. This isn't weakness. This is strategy. Women use thermal heat packs, high-altitude safe menstrual cups, warm adaptive pads, medications that reduce bleeding, double hydration, iron supplements, cycle planning before the expedition Sherpa guides. They are respectful, calm, supportive. They've seen everything on the mountain. They know Everest spares no one. 6. The psychological pressure. Periods on Everest affect more than the body. They impact confidence, decision-making, fear levels, pain tolerance, emotional stability, survival instincts. 73% of female climbers report the same truth. On Everest, menstruation hits both the body and the mind. 7. What if it begins in the death zone, 8,000 plus meters? This is where the reality becomes brutal. The death zone destroys the human body, and menstruation pushes it even faster. Oxygen drops, cramps intensify blood loss, accelerates fatigue, focus disappears, risk of collapse, increases mental clarity, fades. When it starts here, many climbers have only one safe option: turn back immediately. Because the mountain makes the final decision. 8. Real stories. Women never share. These stories exist, but are rarely told. A woman forced to change her cup at -32 degrees Celsius, nearly losing fingers. A climber who fainted from sudden anemia at 7,200 meters. A Japanese alpinist who descended the Lhotse face alone during her cycle. An Indian climber whose period began just 200 meters from the summit, and she still reached the top. Every story is a testament to strength no one sees. 9. The Truth Films. Never show Everest is not a man's mountain, but for women the climb carries double the weight, a physical burden and a silent emotional battle. When a woman reaches the summit, it is not just victory over the mountain, but over biology, psychology and pain. It is a triumph the world rarely acknowledges. Conclusion: Frost of Heights. Signature ending. If this story made you think differently about Everest, if it made you feel the breath of the mountain, stay with me. This is Frost of Heights, where the mountains speak and we listen.